it is.
Old body.
It's
We
all
need to
money.
keep the power.
It's all money and power. That's all. You just follow the money. Follow the money.
And we're just like, we've never had it, so what
yeah,
would we know?
we're like, I don't know how to do that. And it's one of those bathrooms where you're looking at the door.
No.
So you're the first thing that they see when they walk in.
Your eyes just...
And like that handle moved, and I was like, "Here we go." Caesar, if you didn't get it from that, I'm the leader.
I know. I got it.
Marcus is the leader.
Who's not gonna go? He's gotta go to bed. Who does like going to Claremont to have an old fashioned? Which we all
specific.
It sounded very specific.
It was so specific that if you weren't in that friend group, you wouldn't know who it was. But if you are in that friend group, you know exactly who that is.
Hello and welcome to episode 66 of the 30s podcast. My name is Clint.
My name is Morning Marcus today.
Morning Marcus. What up, Morning Marcus? We got Morning Caesar here.
Hey, everybody.
Morning Caesar.
Good morning.
Hail Caesar. Good Lord.
Did you do your Hail Caesars today?
Hail.
We're doing a morning episode today.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of energy.
It is different. It's, man, just sitting here. Because doing it in the morning, I feel like I just have more ideas because we usually record the afternoon.
Yeah.
At that point, you know,
we record
something
in the evening.
in the
let's be
evening.
real.
Yeah, evening.
Yeah, not afternoon.
Evening.
Once in a
6
while
o'clock.
we'll do the afternoon, but
Yeah.
you know,
And there's just stuff during the day that could fry you.
yeah.
You know, just melt your brain a little bit.
Yeah, like what?
So it's like I feel like during the day, like it's like you're like an ice cream cone, and slowly you're getting melted down.
Yeah.
But then if you have a time of rest, it's like you put it back in the freezer,
Oh, I see.
and it's like if you had it, so then it
Good analogy.
hardens over,
Mhm.
and then you pull it back out, and that's when we usually record.
You
But it's like
it's hard,
melt-
then you pull it.
When it's melted.
Yeah.
You know the melted
Yeah.
ice cream where like it doesn't quite look like ice cream anymore, but
Right.
you know it is.
Mhm.
But like it doesn't like if it's
It's like when you
vanilla-
get it in a cup and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
melts,
so it's
and
in a
you
cup.
still eat it when it,
Yeah, you're like, it looks kind of yellow now, but
it's still ice cream.
I know it's ice cream. Oh my God.
Oh, that was our first bleep. Yeah, I feel kind of the opposite. I think we talked about it one episode where I like still mornings. Like I don't really
Yeah.
feel like I'm into it yet. And then later in the day, I'm kind of like, let's go. I guess this is a flip.
Yeah. This is a flip. So how early did you wake up today?
I got up at 7 for sure, and then I just chilled in bed for a little bit.
Mhm.
I didn't want to get up yet.
Yeah.
And then I was probably in there till about 8. And then I gotta get out of here. Otherwise, I have to get out of bed. And then I was up, and then we were on the way here by 9. So,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't have time to do a lot of my normal morning stuff, but
Yeah.
just fine. It's just, I woke up and was like, I don't want to do this first thing of the day. My hair's all disheveled, you know.
Look at
like,
it. Oh my God.
I threw on a sweater, you know, and it's summer.
But it feels nice and cool outside.
Yeah, it's the weird
Yeah.
overcast, cool day
Yeah.
today. One of those random
Yeah.
California days where it's overcast we're in September now, but it's still summer. But
It feels like it. Is it fall now, Caesar, do you think?
The 21st?
Oh, the 21st.
so we're almost there, close
yeah.
enough.
Not according to the Starbucks calendar.
Oh, yeah.
No, they started a little early.
Good God.
They jumped the gun. But even our summers, California summers, go until like the end of August.
Yeah.
So
But then I did see leaves fall from a tree outside.
Oh,
So I thought, wow, this could be a real thing.
yeah. Fall.
us.
Yeah.
We really have it?
Oh, it's actually real. Now that I never knew that it was a real thing.
It just never applied to your life.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Leaves falling.
Yeah, it was
It's
usually-
a perfect metaphor
Yeah.
for life. Like, yeah,
the 30s.
stuff's starting to fall down.
That's the 30s.
Fall.
Oh my God. Yeah, everything falling.
Yeah. If you had to put a season into your life, where would fall? Where would fall?
Word fall.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's in a good spot, right? Like before.
Yeah. Before the cold, wintry grip of death.
Yeah, because it's kind of like
What
a
age do you think
foreshadowing.
Well, yeah. What age do you think is fall?
What age?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I would
I
say,
guess. Yeah. What do you think?
well, I would say currently our age is summer. Like we're in the summer of our lives. We're definitely not in the spring. But I don't think we're in the fall.
Yeah, because spring is definitely when you're a kid.
Yes.
That's totally when you're a kid.
Yes.
Because and there's so much optimism.
Full of life.
Yeah, there's so much time
Blind
in
optimism.
the year. Because like now by the time falls out, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a time limit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. When you're in spring, you don't know fall's coming.
yeah.
You know, like, oh, it's beautiful and it's sunny and
Mhm.
the birds are chirping, and then in fall it's not.
Yeah.
That.
And the
Everything's
30s.
brown and on the ground.
Yeah. And spooky season.
Yeah.
The 30s are definitely the spooky season.
Really?
Where you're like, at first this was like a joke. Like getting older.
Yeah.
You like dress up as your teacher.
Mhm.
Or you dress up like, you pretend you're like an old man.
Right.
And then suddenly
Then
you are that. And it's scary as heck.
See, here's why I disagree. I think that the 30s are still your summer because you realize that those things are not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, oh, getting older is not a bad thing. And you just kind of learn more about how the world works and like you find what the things that you like and things that you don't like. I feel like it's a very summer, like
Yeah.
having fun kind of moment.
Still having fun.
Yeah.
Still kind of doing
Having-
what you want. Too.
Right. Having the fun that matters.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I like that.
Yeah.
Having the fun that matters.
The fun that matters. Summer.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna say even into the 40s
Mhm.
is still gonna be the summer
I think so.
because you know now that I'm approaching that, and I have friends that are in my 40s now that when I was in my 20s they were like the older ones that were like 30 or whatever, and now they're in their 40s and I've talked to them about it and they're like thriving. They think it's great.
So still summer. It's just like a long summer from 30s to 40s.
Yeah,
That'd be
long
cool.
great summer.
Long, great summer.
Yeah,
Because I could see that because a lot of it is still like I don't have responsibilities of having like a family.
Mhm.
So I don't have, because that seems more like the holidays are coming.
Mhm.
Where you have to take them to this thing, you have to take them
Yeah.
to that thing. There's always some kind of event from like October on,
yeah,
right? There's always something going on. It's not like a football game. I feel like just having kids is like there's always something going on.
yeah,
But since we don't do that yet, it's like, oh, we could
Yeah.
still go to the beach by ourselves.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
we could still hit up breweries and
Right.
go to bed at a decent hour and sleep isn't affected by some other life form that we
Yeah,
created.
some other factor that's just gonna burst in your room at any moment.
Yeah, a little
Just-
pumpkin spice
Yeah.
jumping in.
Yeah, I can imagine. I feel like the things I do now, I didn't do in my 20s, but even if I did, I wouldn't appreciate them as much.
Mhm.
You know, like the sleep
Yeah.
or the just wellness stuff that I do, or going to the comedy store.
Mhm.
You know, or going to a comedy club. It's just I don't know if I would feel the same way about it when I was that young. I just think like, oh, get drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, there
That's-
was no
Yeah, like oh, we're gonna go to the comedy store. They have a bar, right? Like, that's what it would be. You know?
it wasn't like, oh, that was actually really well thought out joke.
Yeah, this was a fun experience I'm going to take out of this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to remember these jokes. You know, I remember this experience because of what's happening, not just because of what I'm drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know why,
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that, but
And I like feeling wiser from all the stuff I've been reading.
yeah.
Yeah, even some stuff that I would have been like annoyed to have to read, like
Mhm.
from the Bible. As a kid in the spring, I would have been like, "Oh, this is stupid." But
Oh,
now it's
yeah.
like, "Oh, that makes more sense."
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's a good way to
Yeah.
frame
Yeah.
this era. It's like, that
Mhm.
makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes more
Yeah.
sense. Oh, I get it.
Oh,
All
I
right.
get it. Oh, I get it. That's,
I get it.
You get a lot of those as
Yeah.
you get older, like, oh, I get it.
Oh, I get it.
Like you see your parents' flaws sometimes,
Mhm.
like, oh, I get it.
Oh, I
You
get
know?
it.
I
Like, sorry.
yeah. Sorry.
My bad.
I didn't know everything, all right?
Yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't 30 yet
Yeah.
as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now I get it.
Is there anything you've said or done to your parents that you would apologize for today?
I think because I was the oldest of 4, I think it was always like maybe just like a miscommunication.
I had a lot of those when I
A
was
lot of
kid.
that because of just also not saying what I really want to do
Yeah.
because I had the people pleasing, probably because of church side of me where it's like, oh, I just want to make you happy, so I'm going to go do this sport. I'm just going to make you happy, so I'm going to go do this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like I could have been more like, hey, I think I actually like this,
hmm
and I would like some support.
So it's a lack of saying something.
Yeah, I
You
think
probably go
speaking
back
out
and-
probably.
Yeah.
Because even now it's like, we're pretty good about that.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get
I
it
get
now.
it.
I
Yeah.
get it.
I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think as a kid too, it's like it's usually just about you don't know how to say something too.
Right. You don't know how to just get out,
Yeah.
get your point across
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah. And also too, it's hard when you're a kid because no one respects you.
Yeah, and you're
So,
like still
get it.
developing.
I get it.
Yeah, and your brain is changed. Your brain is literally changing.
Yeah.
So much about you is changing. Like, because I'll sub for some kids and not see them for like a year, and they're a different person,
Mhm.
which is kind of crazy. But like that's what we
Yeah.
did too,
Mhm.
and we just kept changing. Like it's almost crazy that parents don't change sometimes.
Yeah. It's crazy and frustrating.
Yeah.
God, the way that your parents can just push your button sometimes when you're just like, ugh, or just how this is going to be us one day. Like they're of a certain mindset that
Mhm.
that's just how the world at the time shaped them, and it's just that coding that you can't
Yeah.
really break that we're going to have one day.
Yeah.
That you're just like, why can't you just understand this thing, or
Yeah.
why can't you just? What does it matter that? Like the other day, my dad was watching something on TV, and it was a guy talking about his wife, but he was calling her his life partner.
Oh.
And he was like, how come he's not saying wife or girlfriend? And I was like, does it fucking matter? You knew what he meant when he said that.
Yeah.
He was just like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't have to make sense. You know
Yeah.
exactly what he's saying when he says that. And yeah, it is a little weird that someone says that, but I'm also like, I know exactly what he means when he says my life partner.
And it's like, well, Dad, what would you say now? Like, are you gonna get married again?
Yeah. Would you at 60 years old? Would you say girlfriend? Because that sounds
Yeah.
a little embarrassing.
Yeah, it's
if
kinda
you were-
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say partner? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not 60 yet, but it's like I think that too. It's like one, it's just a label. Who cares? And two, at what point does it actually make more sense?
Mhm.
You know, if it's again 60 years old and having a girlfriend or a boyfriend sounds a little strange.
That's weird. It's too yeah.
Yeah.
Because the language is too childish.
It's too juvenile. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this is what you do when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
And then people still use it today, and it does. Sometimes it sounds a little weird. Sometimes you don't even think about it. But I don't know, stuff like that where it's like
Mhm.
with your parents, it's like just fucking get it, or you
Yeah.
know, like, or just accept it for what it is. There's no reason to rally against it.
Yeah, and like thinking about my parents, I think because my dad had to make the decision when he was 30 to join the police academy. So I think there are also moments in your 30s that shape it to where like this is going to be it for maybe ever.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I think maybe that's what happens to us too, where the hard thing happens. We have to really adjust in the 30s,
Yeah.
and then we keep that mindset going for like the rest of our life.
Right.
Because right now, I don't see most of my views changing that much now, but they've changed
Right.
a lot since I was
Exactly.
20.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think with our parents, it's more frustrating because they're so conservative, I guess.
Yeah,
That-
and it's like, well, it worked.
It's like
Parts of it they lucked out a lot because they were in
Right,
California
right.
at a certain time.
at a certain time.
Or
now
like-
it's a little different.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, Mr. Real Estate, like Mr.
Yeah.
Rich Dad Poor Dad telling me about real estate when like
Yeah.
you got a house at like something
Right.
thousand, now it's $1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you lived in the suburbs of LA.
Right. So I think that mindset in general is it's hard to that conservative mindset. This is a blanket statement. It's kind of hard to accept a lot of change sometimes.
Yeah.
It's more of like, no, this is what it is. Where I can speak for all of us in this room. We're more receptive to things changing and just kind of being like, okay,
Yeah.
not so much like, no, it has to stay like this.
Yeah. I
About
think it's
certain things. There are some things where
Yeah.
I'm like, no, dude, this
Yeah.
is, but
Yeah. And it's probably a millennial thing too.
yeah, because we've been so fucked all the time that
Yeah.
it's like, okay, fine.
Like that's
you know?
why I can't even say like I'm a political party, not to just be like I don't
No,
want to
no,
jump
no.
into it because I just can't. I can't do it.
I don't touch that at all.
I can't
ever.
be.
I'm politically homeless. You heard
Yeah.
it here. Politically homeless.
Homeless.
Yeah.
We're making our new party.
Yeah.
But then
I
it
didn't- I
sounds
didn't come up with
weird
that, but-
if you make a new party because then it sounds culty. I
No,
think.
it doesn't.
Or it could.
It sounds like you know something that they don't. That's
That
how
too.
That's how I feel
Yeah.
about it.
That's us
whenever someone's like,
millennials.
whenever some old starts rallying off about politics or some Gen Z idiot, it's another bleep, starts rambling about politics, I'm just like, Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
cool.
Who cares? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna go play Street Fighter when I get home. And and
I gotta still finish Zelda.
I'm a tumbleweed through the world right now. And maybe you think that's stupid or whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna tumble around until I die. So I think that's a very common thing with us millennials. We're always lost in the sauce about the world, because it's like we're the generation that gets fucked.
Yeah.
And like the olds don't know what's going on. The youngs don't know what's going on. And they're always just like, eh. And it's like, we're like, whatever, dude.
And we've got, because we got it.
Yeah.
We got it, but then the olds are still, we got it.
Because we got it.
But the olds are still in charge.
They're still in charge.
The old normies. And then the Gen Zs.
Yeah, you don't see us freezing up on camera.
Gen Z's calling out
what if
for
I just-
mental health day.
Okay, I'm on camera right now. What if during this podcast I just went,
Joe? Mitchie? Are you okay?
Senator, did you hear the question?
you don't see me doing that.
And if you did, we'd be like, oh, shoot, he got
And
the
yeah.
Justin Bieber thing.
or if we did, you guys would be like, he's off the show next
Yeah.
time. You can't do this.
We need to rewrite Marcus out.
Yeah, unlike the other idiots, like, let's throw him up there again next week. He'll be just fine.
Yeah, let's make him president again. Oh my God. Like, they really think that. They think they could, we could just keep
They're just clinging to
using
power.
this
That's all it is.
old body.
It's
We
all
need to
money.
keep the power.
It's all money and power. That's all you just follow the money. Follow the money.
And we're just like, we've never had it, so what
yeah,
would we
we're
know?
like, I don't know how to do that.
Never have, so I guess I'll care about people I like.
Yeah, follow
That's
the
our
money.
political. It's like, okay, first you got to talk me into something.
Yeah.
Second, like, I can't afford to help you,
Uh-huh.
like money wise. I can't provide to your fund. So third, it's gonna have to relate to like my lifestyle right now.
Right. I can provide good hangs.
Yeah, I could hang out with you.
Yeah, I can probably make you laugh.
Yeah, like if you
Or
sign,
Make you offended.
you'll be better for it.
Yeah. Gasps are laughs. Gasps.
Audible gasp.
Audible. Well, I have a memory of one of us reading maybe it was a TV show, a script, and someone said audible gasp.
I did.
Like it was like a what's it called? Final draft?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
a final draft script, and someone was like it said audible gasp, and it was like audible gasp. No, you're supposed to audible gasp. Those are stage directions. Ugh, anyway. How did we get into politics?
That was good. I don't know.
God, I hate it.
Man.
I have a story I can tell you.
Cool.
I drove by my high school
Yeah. Oh yeah.
a couple days ago. And I've been out of high school now for almost 20 years. Let's see. 06, 17, 16 years? 17. So obviously things will have changed.
Yeah.
But I was driving by my old high school, and I have not seen high school kids in the wild in a very long time. And it was very noticeable when I saw the kids out, because a lot of the girls were dressed like, for lack of a better word, sluts. I don't know how else to call it. I'm old.
Mhm.
Where they're wearing like, what are those called? Like stomachs are
Like,
out, whatever.
Yeah, stomachs out,
Oh, like
crop tops.
yeah.
Yeah,
crop
that
tops.
thing. But it was like right up to the tits, and like you can see everything, right?
Mhm.
And then there were some girls in like the little like ass eating shorts. A lot of the dudes were wearing just like normal stuff, but they had hats on and shit.
Yeah.
And I thought like, holy shit! When I was in high school, I remember specifically for guys, like you cannot wear a hat when you're in high school. I don't know why. Probably drugs or
I
weapon
think it was
related.
gain related,
I don't know.
I don't know.
maybe.
But you couldn't wear a hat, any kind of hat, like even a baseball hat. You couldn't wear that. And then for girls, you could not show your body. Like you could not show stomach or shoulders if you were a girl. It's like I always thought that was. I know why they do that, because everyone's
Yeah.
fucking horny. But I thought, like, what changed? What has changed that this is now allowed? Not that I care if it's
Mm-hmm.
loud or not, but it was very like, well, there's
Yeah.
a like. I'm not gonna say that. It sounds bad. But these are kids that are like of that age where they just want to fuck, and they're just like putting them all out in a silver plate.
there you go.
Like, here you go, little Chrissy. Christy.
Christy.
I was thinking of Stranger Things. Here you go, Christy.
Chrissy.
Yeah, here you go, Christy. Just put yourself. We were talking about like just be a gazelle in the wild.
Yeah.
Just be a gazelle out there.
And it's like
For all the leopards prowling around.
That is why like you do have to protect the kids.
Yeah.
You do have to say it like you gotta make them aware that like there are the lions out there.
Yeah.
The leopards who are gonna like try to pretend to be your friend.
Yeah.
But they will pounce.
They will shred.
And they will tear you apart.
Yeah, they will rip you apart.
It can be like that for a long time.
It's gross to think about to think that teenagers have sex at this age, but they do, you know, like
they must,
I
right?
didn't because I was a dork.
Because I was Christian.
Yeah.
I was a good boy.
Yeah. But they do. Like I remember being horny as fuck when I was that age. Just like boners that hurt all the time because they're just so horny.
I remember just not understanding why it would happen so often.
Because it just happened out of nowhere. You'd just be sitting in class, like in chemistry, and you're just like, you're just like,
and you're like, God, I hope
these are numbers and formulas up there.
There's nothing sexy
about. Oh, I'm so hard right now. And to think that now that, like, here you go, it was just really like, I couldn't. It was hard to like compute why this is allowed now. I'm telling such a fucking square, but it's like these kids need to cover up, but. I think they do a little bit.
I think they do. Well, I don't know. I haven't worked at the high schools as much, but they do. I think they do dress code still. I don't know because it'd be something to where like they'd make them cover up, and go to class, which the kids would also like because then they're not in class having to put on another shirt.
Yeah,
back to class.
Remember when I was in high school, you saw some of the girls that were wearing like the shirts that they gave you in the office, like the oversized shirts. And
you're like, damn,
got him.
What'd she try to do?
Yeah, sometimes they would just send them home. I remember that happened a few times. Like,
but then
why is she going home? Because her tits are out.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, she got her way if she didn't want to go to school that day.
That too. It's a smart way to skip school. Just pull out the tees.
Yeah, so maybe they're like, well, you can wear half clothes if you're still in school.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they do. I don't know.
Find out for me.
Yeah, I'll go sub at. Oh, I'm subbing at high school next week.
Hell yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Ask around. Ask how the rules, why they changed. Because I don't. For me, it was more of the why.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this is all of a sudden allowed.
And it could just be because they were out of school, so they were like taking it off.
I don't know. It was like right when school was out, so I saw enough of. I did think that initially, like, well, once you get out of class, it's like take your shirt off. But it looked like too much, too many to be that. But maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do with the wokening of America. But I don't know how that would be argued. It was just like, yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. I'll ask around.
A couple of olds talking about
why
these young
kids and their titties are all hanging out. Their shorts are too short.
God, it's such a weird cyclical thing about like
am I that
shut
old?
up, Dad.
When I'm trying to protect the kid.
I know.
Trying to protect the kids.
They're like, we're just trying to protect you guys.
Yeah, like come on, you don't want this.
You know what you're talking about.
And I'm like, well, I do.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. Now it's like, these girls need to put on a shirt.
They don't understand.
It's for their own safety.
And then like the junior highs will try to dress like that too. And they're better at saying, hey, no, go to the office. Hey, no, you don't want it. And then it's even funnier in junior high because the girls will be like, have been through puberty a bit more, earlier than the boys aren't. So
I know. Like they look like children.
Yeah, you got like it's literally Jessica Rabbit with Roger Rabbit, where you're like she's tall, she's a grown person, and then you got Roger Rabbit as this tiny little shrimp bunny rabbit. It's like, no, you got to keep them apart.
I don't want to forget this. So while we're talking about junior high, tell me about this Riz thing you were saying before
Riz.
we recorded.
So junior hires like to say Riz a lot.
Which we learned on this show means someone who's charismatic.
Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll be like, I'm going to go Riz up this girl. And I'm like, is it going to be appropriate? And they're like, yeah. So
is it going to be appropriate?
So I'm like, okay. So this
you're gonna Riz up this girl. Is that like when we were kids when they would snap the bra strings? No. I never did that, but that was like a thing. You guys don't know about. You guys about the like, silent.
Maybe I was in high school when they were pantsing people.
That happened.
I remember in junior high, like sometimes this is awful, but guys would snap a girl's bra string in the back.
They probably do it still.
Okay. Like that's called the Riz nowadays.
I don't know. That sounds more like harassment.
Yeah. Well, it is. I'm not saying go do that.
I had to tell them about harassment yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Because one kid was like, all I did was say I was going to pour water down her shirt. And I was like, dude, it's different for girls if you're doing that to boys. So you cannot do that. That is real harassment.
Damn, kids are wild.
Yeah.
And then they also asked, like, because I was like, that's like borderline sexual harassment. Because,
Yeah.
And one kid's like, well, what if we're playing football and I have to tackle them? I'm like, well, there's rules. And if you're playing tackle football, you probably need equipment to where
Yeah.
it prevents from any kind of illegal contact.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, in life, there's all these different ways where it's like if they say no, and if you're like bullying them, like you really got to stop and you got to not do anything.
Right.
And it's also like there's a lot of times when like it is wrong, and you could tell like when someone's out of bounds already and you tackle them, like that was not cool. So there's just so many different ways where it's like, okay, well that was out of bounds. You gotta stay in the boundaries.
Okay.
And if you're in a sport, it's different.
Okay.
Like life, we're trying to protect everybody in just normal life. But with rizzing,
Yeah, good. Back to I totally checked out there. I was like, is he explaining football to me?
No.
How did I get to this? How do I get out of this? you see me like glaze over, like, okay.
But one kid,
Yeah. Okay, back to rizzing.
so rizzing, one kid was like, all he did was he told a girl, hey, what's that? And she looks down and he lifts her chin up
Oh my God.
so that they're looking eye to eye, and
Yeah.
he walks away. So he was like, oh, hey. And then he went back to his desk.
That is such a. It's kind of like a I don't know the right word.
It's like,
I want to say baller, but that's not the right word. Just like something that's like, wow.
that's kind of actually
very-
a good move.
yeah,
Maybe you
that's
should. Yeah,
very.
maybe
It's a very. How old was this? This was junior high.
he was like 13.
That's a very confident move for someone who's 13 to pull on a girl. Just go, what's up? But actually
Hey.
touch her face.
Yeah, actually, like
So
lightly.
what did the
you
girl
know.
do? Was
She
like,
was just like butterflies.
So it worked.
So it worked.
You
Yeah,
got her all rizzed up.
yeah. They were rizzed up.
What an interesting time to
Yeah.
be.
Did you guys have that confidence when you were that, or did you
No.
know anybody that had that confidence?
was
People are
young-
just throwing that out there now, right?
I don't know.
I definitely remember that there were some guys and girls, like the attractive ones, the hotties,
Yeah.
that were like that were confident, that knew they were like good looking, that had confidence, but not like in that way. I don't know if it's just different nowadays, but I could not see anyone in my high school doing that. Well, actually, take that back. Junior high, no. High school, yes.
High school, I could see myself. I probably did that a lot.
And you just
Yeah.
see Caesar spread his hair.
Thought,
all
yeah,
the
that was
way out.
magnificent. There
You
was
gotta get that
no
Caesar-
camera for that.
Caesar cam.
Just stretching.
Man, he rizzed us up just now.
was
I didn't mean to give you an uncomfortable boner.
Butterflied his whole head right
Man,
now.
I'm in science class again.
Sam, I don't even need to riz that hard.
We're easy.
Yeah, I'm so flustered now. I'm stumbling for my words. High school, yes, there were some guys and girls like that. Junior high, no. I feel like all of us were. I think now, with no context, that kids are getting older, younger, just because of internet and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they probably. I mean, I wouldn't even know how like to riz some. What that would even
Because
the
I
equivalent
wanted,
would
yeah,
be.
my context would be like if I'm in junior high, I was watching shows like Smallville,
Mm-hmm.
and that would have been as much. I'd just be like emulating the movies and the characters I watched.
Yeah.
So I didn't have some video where it's like, here's how to riz somebody.
Right. There
You
wasn't
going around.
YouTube to be. I don't use YouTube for this now, but to be like, how do I riz somebody?
Yeah.
Or like, how do I get confident? Even
Yeah.
I'm sure there's YouTube videos about that.
Yeah.
Or like how to present yourself in a certain way. For if you're a kid and just be like, oh, I want her to talk to me. Just go on YouTube and look up techniques.
Yeah, I think for me it was just, oh, I'm in class with her, so I'm gonna talk to her, because you kind of have to at some point.
The
You have to talk
ultimate
to them in
riz
class.
technique.
Riz, so we have to work on this project.
Yeah.
What are you doing for homecoming dance?
Oh,
Are
God.
you going out with anybody?
I can't. I can't take this. It's awful.
Did you?
I can't imagine. a young
You don't
Clint.
think you've ever rizzed a kid? Or
A kid? No.
when you were a kid.
When I was
Have you ever rizzed a
Cut
No,
that
I
out,
never
cut
rizzed
that
a
out.
kid.
Ever rizzed a girl
I don't
in
think
class?
I've ever rizzed. I don't think I've ever rizzed anybody.
I don't know.
But even at that age, no, I was too like. I was not even aware of anything at that age. I was too dumb. I've talked about before. No, but I had no friends. Like I had I had
Yeah.
nothing.
You're ASB.
Yeah, but they weren't really. Okay, you want to talk about? First of all, it was called USB at my school.
Oh, USB.
But you want to talk about my USB career, whatever? I got into. I can't say USB. I just want to say USB. That's what I know. I got into that so I could get out of class because I saw what that was. I knew some people in it, and I knew that they were always leaving class.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do they get to leave all the time? Like, oh, they got to do this thing for the rally, and like, well, rallies are fucking lame. But I would love to get out of class.
Yeah.
So I saw that they always got out of class, and that they were always eating food. Like they always had food brought in from from anywhere. They had like the Hawaiian barbecue place they'd always get, or
Yeah.
they'd get like just takeout food. They'd always have food. And I was like, how are these people? How do they have food at school? And they're like, oh, it's just like they get it from being in that class. And I was like, what? This is why am I taking art? I'm going to take this.
That was so attractive to me. Like getting food
Okay.
from somewhere else to school.
Okay, I'm going to tell some stories. These have statute of limitations on them, maybe, but I don't know. So I ended up, this is into my junior year, I was like, I'm going to take this class because it counts as an elective and I get to not go to class, right? So I get into USB. It was called leadership. The actual class is called leadership, but your student body. And I was just like, these people are idiots. Like they were like the really like school spirit, and I was not that. And I was like, but they were nice. They were nice people, and I didn't have any friends anyway. And they were kind of like forced friends because they were so friendly. And I was like, okay, I kind of like this because I'm talking to people. And then I got to get out of class all the time when I got to do rallies or events. And I would not do anything in this class. I would just sit there and participate by sitting there. I would just like,
Yeah.
I remember a lot of time. I'm such a dickhead. I would keep correcting people on like because you have to give speeches and stuff. You have to talk to people, and so the students would write them out, and I would be correcting like their grammar and stuff, and be like, I remember one instance. This guy kept saying enunciate, or he spelled enunciate wrong, or he said it wrong, and I was like, it's enunciate, and I kept correcting him, and he was like, oh, okay, and then he would just say it wrong again, and I would do shit like that, right?
Yeah.
I'd kind of neg people a little bit, but in a friendly way. So that's all I would do. I would just participate. I'm putting up quotations if you can't see, and just be part of the class. And when I got into my senior year, when you're a senior in leadership / USB, and also in seniors year, you don't have to take as many classes. I think that's a thing.
Something like that. Yeah.
I had I could get out early or something. I don't remember, but you really didn't do anything. It's kind of like a seniority thing where you just don't have to do anything, but you can still get out of class all the time. And so I really didn't do shit. And there were times where, okay, this is bad. I don't remember how but I got a key to one of the leadership rooms. Like we had our own bungalows where that's where the class was. And I don't know how I had a key, but I had a key to the room. So what I would do sometimes is, this is so bad, I would bring my PlayStation to work in my backpack, right? And I'd go to my teachers. Like you have to do it at the beginning of the day where you give them a form and they sign you out. Like, yeah, you don't have to be here for this class. You don't have to be here for this class. And I would do it for like most of the day where I would be signed out of class and I had a key to this room and I would go in there all day and just play PlayStation because I hooked it up to one of the TVs in there.
Damn.
Wow.
And no one ever came in?
I think a few times some other students came in, but they don't care. They're like, oh, what are you doing in here? I'm like, And I did that pretty frequently.
Wow.
And just me having a key, because I would take the key home, and like just me having a key to the classroom, I think I wasn't supposed to have it, but I did.
Yeah.
So that's pretty bad. And then I never gave it back.
Damn.
And I don't know how we got on this topic, but yeah, I didn't do shit in that class. I didn't
That's
do anything.
incredible.
And that's why I wanted to be in there. And then we used to do these meetings for like a sports league. I don't know, but it was like the adults were there having the meeting, but they took the kids, some of us, because we're supposed to like pay attention and like learn
Oh.
from it. But it was like they took it. It'd always be at Mimi's Cafe, right?
Oh,
And this
really?
is before I worked there.
Wow.
But they took us there, and then we'd have breakfast. We just ate. We didn't even do anything, and that happened once a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I don't have to go to class. I can just go to have breakfast at Mimi's. Perfect.
Yeah.
And it was shit like that where it was like, anyone not doing this class is stupid.
Yeah.
They're really dumb. And I hated that I didn't know that sooner because I could have done that like as a freshman and a sophomore and really reaped the benefits of it.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. And
I think some kids do figure that out.
I wasn't the only one that knew that, I was the only one that brought PlayStation to work. But they knew like, oh, I can get out of class.
Yeah. I think the smartest kids know that in junior high because then they see that
Yeah.
and they're in 8th grade. Think about being in 8th grade and having time out of class.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's insane. But then you see some
Yeah.
kids and you're like, you ran for president?
Yeah. I didn't ever do any of that stuff. Like the office, I think it's called office.
Yeah.
I was a coordinator at one point for audio. I didn't know anything. And I got conned into doing it because nobody wanted to do that role. I didn't know that. And it was shortly after I got in there. And they're like, hey, do you want to be I forget what it was, audio coordinator, something like that coordinator. I know nothing. I know nothing about all this that Caesar's doing. I know nothing about all this. And I was like, sure, I'll do it. And I remember having to do the mics for the football games and like play music and stuff. And they just like they gave me like the giant JBLs that I was a scrawny kid. I'm a scrawny adult. I was even a scrawnier kid. I could not lift those they were the huge JBLs, like this big, and there was 4 of them. And I had to have help anybody had to have help. They were huge to lug them onto a cart to drive them to the field and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they wheeled out a soundboard, and I had to wheel it out, a soundboard with like, it's like hieroglyph. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Damn.
And I had one day of training, and the guy that was the last audio was like, this does this is how you push play, this is how you play the music, this is how you do that, this is how you do that, and that, and that's it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I just had to figure it out, the audio stuff, and it always sucked. And there were times where I don't know if it got back to anybody, but I would just wheel all the stuff out there and leave.
So someone else, because
Yeah,
it was
somebody else. I know, like,
because you were just supposed to play music.
and I have to like turn the mics on and stuff,
Yeah.
and make sure the audio is good, and then I have to put it all away afterwards.
Yeah.
And there were times where I just set it all up. Maybe I even set up the mics. Just like it's
Yeah.
out there. Someone can figure it out. I'm supposed to be the one that does it, and I would just go home.
Oh my god.
And then the next day, everything would be brought. Someone brought it all back. I don't know who. I don't know how. I don't know who figured out the mics, but no one ever said like, "Hey, what happened to the thing yesterday?" No one brought it up.
Yeah.
So I was just, I don't know. It was such a weird time. I wish I had a better memory of it. Like as we've learned down here, my memory's shit. But I wish I could go back to those 2 years and just like, how did I do all this stuff
Yeah.
and not get away with it,
Right.
and get away with it?
Yeah.
No one figured out about the classroom. No one said anything about this, like the audio stuff that I just brought out and didn't do.
Yeah. I think about how did I stay awake back then? Because I would have been either doing a sport
Yeah.
and then homework.
You probably didn't, because
I don't know how yeah.
Okay, I do have memories of being in class, like
being real
tired.
like real tired.
I've never been that tired as an adult where I'm like falling asleep
Some
like this.
classes maybe in college,
But
but I had
now,
coffee
yeah,
now
Yeah, maybe
or
college.
some kind of energy drink. I didn't drink those back then.
Right.
If they did, the only time I would see people drink energy drinks was like some guy trying to energize before the football game.
Mhm.
But we never really, I don't even think we'd really use those in high school.
It's just, well, when you're a teenager, you're always so tired.
Yeah.
That's just part of being a teenager.
Yeah.
And then you got to get you up at 6 to be at school by
Yeah.
7.
The whole school, the time thing.
Yeah.
That's a real big
It's-
debate 'cause it should be later.
It should be. And then you have to be there all day.
Yeah.
And you're just like, these kids just want to eat, sleep, and fuck. And you have to sit still in class.
It's asking a lot.
It's asking a lot.
It really is. Poor
But
kids.
what's the way around it? I don't know.
I know, later school, shorter school, going less days.
Yeah.
Like I think
'Cause
the
a lot-
outcome of COVID, that at least in college, that seems like it's benefiting is go to school in person less,
Yeah.
but then having synchronous lessons at home, just so that you're not just so exhausted.
Yeah.
Split it up.
The whole school thing needs a makeover.
Yeah.
A new way to function, because you don't need to be I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously. But I don't think you need, especially in high school, to be up that early at school all day, like, to retain what? Because what do I have to retain? If you want to get into like information I've retained from high school, nothing that I know of. Maybe some stuff that I'll pull out once in a while. But there's got to be a better way to mold your brain at that age, other than just like sit in and learn chemistry at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Because none of that I don't know any of that. Maybe there's another exercise to get whatever you need out of me
Maybe.
at that time. Like put on a podcast.
Yeah.
Put on instead,
that could be it.
About something interesting, something that you're interested in. But I don't know, dude.
That might be it.
There's no Riz there. There's no Riz.
No Riz
That's no Riz.
in the high school system.
Yeah. A funny thing happened to me yesterday. So remember last week we talked about one of the eggs was if they're banging on the bathroom stall and say, someone's in here, right? I was in yesterday at work. I went to the bathroom. It was in the morning. I had my coffee, so I had to poop. And I went into one of those bathrooms where it's one bathroom, right? There's no like stalls or anything. It's just the door and you're in the bathroom. And I went in there to take a shit. And somebody walked in because I didn't lock the door.
Oh no.
And it's one of those bathrooms where you're looking at the door.
No.
So you're the first thing that they see when they walk in.
Your eyes just
And like that handle moved, and I was like, "Here we go." Because I was like, "There's no way out of this at this point, right?" So this girl walks in.
Oh,
It's like it's one of
no.
those bathrooms. It's for whoever needs to use it.
Oh.
And I just went, "I'm sorry." And she just was like, "Oh," so walked out, and then I just reached over and locked it.
The other day, I was trying to use the bathroom at.
Wait.
Oh, you keep
Before you-
going.
No, the story doesn't go on, but it just has that happened to either of you?
No.
The other day, I opened the door and someone was changing
Wait.
at work.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I don't want to say this first. So you two have never. That was the first time I've ever experienced
Ever?
someone walking in and me taking a shit.
Oh no, I've definitely.
I've never had that. Never had that. So I was. After it happened, I thought nothing of it. It was just like, oh. There was no embarrassment. I felt more embarrassed for her. There was no embarrassment. There was no like, oh my God. There was no like, there was nothing. I just went back to my phone.
Oh no.
Like, and then I told somebody the story later and she started laughing. And I was like, yeah, I felt nothing. I felt no way about it. Thinking like, should I have felt some way about that?
I think if you were younger, I think now it's like.
I'm just like, what the fuck?
Now it's just like, what do you want?
Who's next? Who else wants to walk in?
I think that's funnier when you walk in or you see someone at the urinal and they're on their phone still. On their phone. Like
I did that. What?
just like, what am I? I'm not going to stop this. You're just sitting there and staying.
Just walk. Guess.
Oh, it's like,
sorry. So you walked on somebody changes.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, I can't unsee this.
Reduced it. You're out of the clearances, right? It's fine. No, we're good.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You should be providing tissues for when I start
You
crying.
know that we laugh, cry a lot.
Every week.
Not every week, but you know when it happens,
It's a good time.
Such a joy.
Yeah.
So you walked in on somebody changing.
Yeah, that's just one you can't unsee.
Who'd you walk in on?
Just a cook.
A cook.
Yeah,
Give more context to this story.
cook, female cook.
Where were you when this happened?
At the restaurant.
Okay, and you were just walking in. Do you guys have changing rooms? What
No.
was this? Oh,
The
okay.
bathroom. There's only one bathroom back in the kitchen that everyone uses.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they decide to change in there
But not
without locking the
locking
door.
Oh.
I'm just like,
Did they see you?
because
What did you see?
they're just like, oh.
What did you see?
And I was like, oh, sorry.
Whoops.
Oh!
Stuff I
Wait, what did
shouldn't.
Tell me what you
Just
saw.
enough, like Winnie the Pooh with his pants off,
Oh, but you said it was a lady? A
Yeah.
lady? Okay.
Yeah, just that kind of feeling of like,
What did this lady look like? Was it one where you were like, oh? Or
yeah,
Okay.
it's a
it's an ick.
it's an ick. It's an ick.
Yeah. I was not going to tell that story, but I'm glad we got the laugh.
Yeah.
That was a fun laugh.
Because I just love, because like we don't wash our phones ever.
Yeah, we hear that thing all the time. Like, your phone's the
Yeah.
dirtiest thing. Like, well,
It is, and we don't care. Like, I don't care enough.
I sanitize it every day.
Oh,
you do?
Look at you.
Oh, sorry. See.
You probably.
Always trying to flex on us.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry,
He's just
sorry.
like hair.
Spreading his
Phone's
hair
clean.
out. Yeah.
That's why they don't put me on camera.
I don't get COVID.
I always lock the door to the bathroom.
Healthy flex. I only started doing weed when I was 23.
Doing weed.
I started drinking when I became 21.
And not a minute sooner.
Yeah, I follow the law flex.
I follow the law flex.
That's what that is.
Look at me, upstanding citizen over here.
All right, so we have upstanding citizen Caesar.
Citizen Caesar. You can be that now if you want.
Citizen Caesar.
That's what a producer. Citizen. I can't say it. Citizen Caesar.
Citizen
To
Caesar.
remind people that I'm not illegal.
Oh my God, is that the deep down? Deep down, his
I am a
his
citizen.
Hispanic roots make him feel like he has to provide evidence every
Citizen.
day.
Yeah,
that
I
I'm
wouldn't
a
have-
citizen.
I wouldn't have thought by now that you brought it up.
Because you brought it
Yeah,
up.
because you brought it up. I wasn't going to judge you before. But now
Okay, so
It's a little bit inside
we've been
joke.
making fun of our friend because he'll say something like embarrassing and then say, "Don't judge," and immediately I'm like, "I've been judging the whole time." Like
it's just, or it's something that you have to. It's because you said don't judge. First of all, means like go fuck yourself. Like I can do what I want.
yeah.
And second of all, no, what you just said to me, I have to judge it.
I
You know,
have
there's-
to now.
I can't just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
It's no way to be like, what? You can't,
Yeah.
it's, the things that you say are so, it invites judgment
Yeah.
that I can't not judge it. And you saying don't judge, it's like,
It's
okay,
like,
well now
yeah.
I'm going to judge the fuck out of it.
It's like if your significant other is like, "Yeah, so I went to Target. Don't worry, I didn't cheat."
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, it was.
That's how they come home with. Don't worry, I didn't cheat or anything.
Don't worry, I didn't
Sorry.
cheat or anything. So I went to Target with Debbie from work. Don't worry, I didn't cheat or anything.
Yeah.
Nobody
What?
else went with you.
I wasn't thinking about it. Now I am.
Don't judge.
That's how it is, though.
And also the audacity of saying like, don't judge. It's like, you can do whatever the fuck I want. You know,
Yeah.
like, people are going to react to you in a certain
Yeah.
way regardless. Like, you tell, don't do that. It's like, well, it's going to happen now.
Yeah, everyone's judging at a
Yeah.
certain rate.
Everybody's
like-
always judging everything.
Yeah, because for me, I don't want people to live as idiots, especially if like it's something that can be corrected.
After the things we say on this show, I don't know. Like, we're idiots.
And it's okay. I own up to my own idiocracy.
Yeah.
That's fine, but like,
Don't judge.
don't judge.
Don't judge.
Don't judge. I didn't cheat. I'm good.
The 30s podcast. Don't judge.
Don't judge. Don't judge. It's also, too,
Don't
it
judge.
always sounds so arrogant to me. Don't judge. Like,
Don't judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to judge the hell out.
That was racist as hell. Yes, I will judge. Yes, I will.
What else do we have this week? It was Happy 9/11, you guys.
Happy 9/11.
That happened.
Hope you celebrated well.
Yeah. Celebrate it. How would you celebrate it? I don't. You just don't forget it. That's how they say. Don't forget.
You just remember that you're an American citizen.
Yeah.
And that you waited till you're 21. You got your learning permit at 15 and a half.
I did get mine pretty late.
Oh.
yeah.
Got him.
Oh my God.
I got mine at 15 and a half. I
I did.
explained that to
Yeah.
a friend of mine that didn't know that you, because I took it. I took driver's ed in high school.
Mhm.
That was a high school class you could take. And then the training you do afterwards, you could also take through the high school. It wasn't a class, but they offered like the services.
Yeah.
And I did all that in high school. And this friend of mine had never heard of that.
Oh,
Did they have that at your school?
they didn't provide that in high
Okay.
school.
Yeah, I guess it was unique to my driving experience because you would
Maybe.
take a class and it counted as an elective, and they give you, I don't even remember what was in the class other than they showed us like red asphalt videos. You know
Yeah.
what that is?
I don't think so.
So you know what red asphalt?
No.
It's just it's videos of people getting killed in automobile incidents
Yikes.
because of drug driving, or it's informative.
Oh.
It's not like a exploitation film.
Oh, shit.
Because that would be weird.
Yikes.
But it's basically telling you don't drink and drive, or like
Oh, okay.
the road safety and all that.
Mhm.
But they showed stuff in it, so it was kind of graphic.
Yeah.
That's all I remember from the classes, watching those videos. But yeah, they teach you, and it's like a certifiable thing too, where they teach you everything, and then they let you go take the tests, and if you pass or not, whatever, then I think it's a learner's permit
Mhm.
at 15 and a half.
Yeah.
And then you have to do the training, if I remember correctly, where you meet someone, maybe it's not, someone, you drive around with somebody,
Yeah.
and you have to log a certain amount of time. I
Yeah.
think for me it was 4 days. And
Yeah, that
then-
sounds right.
And then you have to have your permit for 6 months, and then you can take your test.
Yeah. That sounds way more convenient doing it at school than
Mm-hmm.
and in your spare time.
Yeah, that sucks,
Yeah.
dude. You have
Yeah.
to take time out of your free time to go a class.
To do with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like all these classes that are more life skills you keep just getting erased.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's a good
Mhm.
point of
Yeah.
a good example of a class. I would love to I had economics, but I don't remember anything about it. But he did
Yeah.
teach us about stocks and stuff. But I would love an investment class.
Yeah.
I
Like
love-
like a Dave Ramsey high
Yeah.
school class.
And he had a finance class
Yeah.
when I was in high school. I would
Yeah.
love,
yeah.
just to learn anything about finance, or like a credit class. We
Mhm.
teach you about credit cards, and I almost said something I shouldn't about somebody.
Oh geez.
About somebody who you shouldn't judge.
Oh yeah, don't judge.
Yeah.
Wait, don't judge. I'm gonna reveal all their dirty laundry.
No,
Don't judge.
I'm not gonna do that. But like, it teaches you about credit card, like getting credit, and like how if you don't have a credit score, you have nothing when you get older. Like you have nothing if you're not. We're walking credit scores. I wish
Yeah.
we'd have someone that teaches us that. The driver's class was great. I would love a cooking class of some kind.
Mhm. Yeah, because I did that in junior high.
That's too young though. Like,
But it did instill like the skills. Like I had
Did it?
in
I
junior
took-
high, I feel like I took all the electives
Mhm.
that you should. Like I took typing, which for
yeah,
computer,
typing helped. I
that
did take
really
that.
helped.
Mhm.
That was a big one. Home ec was the cooking and sewing, and
Yeah.
that was also the time when like Super Size Me came out.
Okay.
So that was very
Oh, I see.
relevant
Yeah.
for that class. But like that taught me how to cook, even though like I just kept like a recipe from that class.
See, I took that too, but I don't remember it. I feel like if I
Yeah.
took it in high school, I would
You probably
retain
for more, yeah,
more of
yeah.
it. The typing thing, I'm old enough to where that was taught to us in elementary school. Like we had to
Yeah.
do it, and it was on the old Macintosh computers.
Yeah.
And we just play Oregon Trail, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
we were supposed
Oregon
to.
Trail,
It was just like the little DOS Oregon Trail.
Mhm.
But we had to. That was very useful. I remember that was like a big thing when I was a kid. Is you had to have certain typing speeds. Like
Mhm.
they would do your words per minute, and you had to make a certain word per minute to pass the class. It wasn't much, but like they wanted you cannot do this.
Yeah,
kinda
yeah,
thing.
because you had to set your fingers in the right
Yeah.
keys.
Mhm.
FFF, JJJ, FFF, JJJ,
Yeah, and
LPJ.
they would watch you
Yeah.
do it. And like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a pretty good typer today, probably because of that.
Yeah, I think because of that I am too.
And then it's because we're around computers all the time,
Yeah.
so we have to know how to do it.
We have to now, yeah.
There was a game called Mario Type, or Mario Does Typing.
Ooh.
A Mario typing game that I wish I had today. It
Mm-hmm.
was a really fun game.
Kids would like that.
Yeah,
I
where
know.
it was Mario and he would like run onto the screen and then he's like getting through a level, but you just have to keep typing for him to keep going, otherwise he
Oh.
just falls off.
That's cool.
And then like you'd be Peach and she does it, and then you'd
Yeah.
be Toad and he does it, and then I remember it being like I'd play that today.
That'd be cool.
It was a
yeah.
fun game. Anyway, yeah, those kind of classes would be great in high school instead of the
Yeah.
fucking bullshit we had to take.
Change it.
Yeah, let's get some more Riz in high school.
More Riz.
Mo Riz.
Get more Riz.
Mo Riz. So I want to talk about small wins for the week.
Okay.
So that is a segment that I want to bring. Be good.
Mhm.
Small wins. And I only have one small win for this week, but it's a
Okay.
win nonetheless.
Yeah.
I meal prepped this week.
Meal prepped. What'd you meal prep?
Just some chicken.
Ooh,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
a good small win. Look at that.
Meal prepped some chicken and some steak and some asparagus
Mm.
and some rice.
Mm.
That's it. One other vegetable. Cucumbers. I
Ooh.
grilled some cucumbers.
Damn.
Maybe
get it.
zucchini, I guess. Zucchini.
That sounds good.
Yeah. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah. So you did.
Even when I buy them, I don't know which is which unless they're actually labeled. They look the same.
You grilled them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chop them all up. Cucumbers, zucchinis, and then just salt and pepper and just
Oh,
same with
sounds
the
good.
asparagus, salt and pepper, and that's I put olive oil on that and
Mm-hmm.
just chicken, salt and pepper.
Damn.
Steak, salt and pepper.
How many days did
Buttered.
you have it for?
A week.
A
So,
week? So
yeah.
the whole week?
Mhm.
Wow.
I prepped for the week. The thing is with the meal prep, I don't always want to eat it every day.
Yeah. That's where it gets
I'm
hard.
feeling, poke bowl today.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's tricky with meal preps is that you have to eat it all. Or it's gonna go bad,
It's going to go bad.
and then you're just wasting money and food.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Any small wins for you this week?
Yeah. Well, I did stand up
Hell yeah!
on Tuesday. Should I play some of
okay,
it?
yeah. All right,
play some of it.
we're at the end, so let's do a Clint's stand up.
Okay.
How many minutes did you do?
Well, 5 minutes.
Okay.
I might pause it. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't
See
have to
how
listen to
it
the whole
goes.
thing. 'Cause they're not gonna
Hello
see
and
it.
welcome to the show sponsored by alopecia. I remember when trying to save my hair was like my hobby. It was fun. You put all this money into it. You're obsessed over it. All your algorithm shows everything that has to do with like losing your hair, and then you get nowhere. It's like when you put all your hobby into something like football and you never play. It's not a big deal. Now, so I started substitute teaching again. So I did like a hard transition because the other part that I wanted to add to it that I've written before is that like the feeling of like losing your hair is like when you're like the friend who's going through a divorce and your married friends all look at you like, oh my God, could that happen to me? Because that's the feeling. Because they look at you, they're like,
Yeah.
how is it?
That's good.
What's it like?
Yeah.
Is it easier?
Mm-hmm.
Because like deep down, it's like I was even talking to this other guy because I said, dude, I just buzz it now. And because that is the fear, like, what is life like then? And it's better. All right. So then we got
And it's better. I like that.
subbing. And I think the hard part about kids right now is that, like, before when we were kids, we knew it was bullshit, but they know now. Like, they have the internet. So even when you're working with like little tiny kids and you're like, well, this is this and that, they're like, well, no, it's not, because they just Googled and fact checked you as you're talking. And, but I get it, we're training kids to work jobs we don't have anymore. We're training them to sit still and to do work quietly like it's the office. And that's just not a thing anymore, so I get it. Now, I get it because their dad works from home, and then their mom makes crazy money off Instagram for no reason. So they look at you and they're like, well, I want to be a teacher. This kid today was like, I want to be a teacher so I could also yell at kids. And I was like, I'm so sorry. You shut up. Just shut up, kids. But I envy them because when you're little, it's just so convenient making friends. It's literally like the person that is sitting next to you. Like I remember growing up, I had a Chinese friend in kindergarten named Jackie Chen. This is his real name. And I had a black friend named Martin in first grade. And I thought, wow, am I gonna meet a new kind of person every year? This is kind of cool. And then in third grade, do you ever look back and go like, oh, that was the first gay friend I ever met? Back in third grade. I remember he's totally gay, but you didn't know what it was back then, so you couldn't really define it. Now, let's see, 2 minutes. And every dynamic, there's at least when you got like a group of 4 friends, 4 people, it's kind of like the Hogwarts houses, or I like to think of it more as like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where you have a leader, you have a hothead, you have the funny one, and you have the smart one. Now, in my 30s, my friend group, it's kind of similar, but it's complicated it, and I hate it because it means we don't get to hang out as often. Because instead of the leader, you have the stupid picky one who only wants to go to like the few 3 places, and so there's a leader only because if we don't do what they want, we're not going to hang out. So in my friend group, I become the wise one because I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell them what I want to do, which is go drink at Disneyland, and then go bowling, and then go do karaoke. They're not going to want to do it. So my hothead friend, who is really just the sensitive one when you get older, goes, well, I think we should do this. And I'm like, dude, no, the leader isn't going to like that. The leader is going to be like, I want to have an old-fashioned in Claremont and go to bed by 7 p.m. And the same thing happens every time, where the hothead's like, I want to try 2 breweries, I want to go meet some girls, I want to do this. And the leader's like,
oh, we know who the leader is.
But the hothead
Wait, we gotta. This gotta stop. I can't take this. Let's see 2 minutes.
That's funny.
Caesar, if you didn't get it from that, I'm the leader.
I know. I got it.
Marcus is the leader.
Who's not gonna go? Who's gotta go to bed? Who does like going to Claremont to have an old fashioned? Which we all specific.
It sounded very specific.
It was so specific that if you weren't in that friend group, you wouldn't know who it was. But if you are in that friend group, you know exactly who that is.
Yeah, I feel like for that.
Woo!
I don't know, because I think there is that person in every group, though.
Right.
As
You're
you get
right. When
older.
you explained it to me in the car, you kind
Yeah.
of just explained it. You didn't make it as funny, but it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're right. That's how it works.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
because then
Yeah, it's relatable even for somebody that's not like. I get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
and it's any friend group, male, female. Everybody's got the one that's like, well, I gotta go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then there's the funny friend becomes the one full of shit who's like lying. Well, not lying, but like gives you some excuse for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't hang out. Sorry, my dog is at the daycare. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make
It's
sense
so
at all.
true.
Like, we can
Or
still
it's
drink
like-
there.
You're like, your grandpa died again?
Thought you only had the one.
Yeah. Or like, you can just say no. You don't have to
Yeah,
give us
just
bullshit.
say no.
Just say
Don't
no.
bullshit us.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
We have that one friend. All right, we can wrap this up.
That was hilarious.
This is like
Yeah, I almost forgot we were still recording. So let's wrap it up for today. For this, I kind of like this energy in the morning.
yeah.
These are.
I like
how
this
do you,
more.
Do you like?
Yeah.
How do you
like
feel
it.
about mornings?
Yeah, I feel good.
Okay,
Man,
I feel kind of good.
I think we
Kinda
like
like
hard
this.
laughed like 5 times.
Yeah, I don't feel the need to get drunk either.
Yeah.
Like
Which
you
I
do
don't-
at
I
5
don't
in the
always
Pretty
afternoon.
lit off this. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do some more morning episodes, but that's
Yeah.
that's out off the pod talk. So I don't know why we're discussing it while we're recording. Thank you for being here, both of you, for episode 66. This is great.
Wow.
Caesar, do your plugs.
You can follow me at I am Caesar Rod. If you want me to produce a podcast for you, hit me up at Rodriguez Podcast. Carla and Caesar's Modern Life is the other show I do with my wife Carla, and the Rodriguez Show is also the other radio show that I do. So that's all. What else?
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clint.
At the _Clint show. Gotta keep going. Keep leveling up.
What's the name of the place you do these open mics?
The Amazing Comedy Theater
Amazing Comedy Theater in Newport.
in Huntington.
Huntington. So,
Come hang out. Come see me.
or go get on
act a
stage.
fool. And come be on stage with me.
Yeah. Uncle 2_ Marcus on everything. Maybe it'll be morning Marcus.
Ooh, morning Marcus.
Actually, no, I can't change it. I can't. There's too many connections to that. The 30s pod on everything. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.